Hey guys, welcome to the last part of the Mediterranean bathroom tutorial. If you haven't watched the other parts, make sure to watch it first. In the part 1 I explained about how to model this entire scene, and then in part 2 I explained on how to texture the scene. For this part we will make some adjustment, setting the camera, lighting, render setting, and finally compositing. Let's get started. I think we're going to have a quick assessment here before we proceed into the next step. So there are a few things that are bothering me. So first is the faucet. It's too thin. I want to make it more thick. So we're going to add a bit of thickness to it. And then what else? The HDRi. We need to apply HDRi. For now we are using Nishita as our our lighting. We are using Nishita, which is the Blender built-in sky texture. So we need to change it later with HDRi. And then we need something to block the horizon. Maybe we can add wall here, and then yeah, we can try adding wall here, and also just kind of make this very bright, very overexposure, because that's just how a real camera works. Usually when on the daytime, when we try to take a picture on the interior or inside the room, the outside or the exterior, just like the window, usually it will be overexposure. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to replicate that into our scene later. So yeah, I think that's all. Maybe this we can add a bit of light here for a candle, add a bit lighting, and maybe also to desaturate it a little bit. The candle is kind of just kind of popping. The color is kind of popping. We need to desaturate it just a little bit. So I think that's it. Also the window here, the window frame, maybe we can change the color, but it's not really something really important, but yeah, we can try to figure it out later. So the frame, the environment or the boundary to hide the horizon, and then the faucet, the candle, and the sky. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 points that we need to fix before we proceed into the next step. Okay, so let's start with the faucet first, because it's a curved object. It's still curved, so we can just edit this number. That's the good thing about non-destructive workflow, because we can edit later, just like when we are having a real project. We can have a revision, we can have changes, and we don't really have to start from the beginning, completely from beginning. We can just edit, tweak the number, tweak the settings, something like that. Yeah, that's good thickness. Okay, so this candle here, let's try to look for the texture, which one it is. I think this one is the correct texture. So I'm not sure which one is affecting this candle wax. Not this one affecting it. Oh yeah, just a little bit. Increase the value as well. It's really cool. It's really cool texture. Okay, so I think it will work. For now. I think I'm going to add the likes as well now. Shift A and then look for the light and then point. And we're going to switch to render mode again. But for now, I think we need to turn off the Nishita just a little bit. Maybe change the sun rotations. Yeah, something like this. So we can see the light. Okay, so we need to click the like first, and then there will be appear this option about our like. We change it to something warm, or we can just use nodes here. So to enable it, click this use nodes, and then now in the shader editor there will be appear node about emissions, and we can add a black body. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean here, to connect it into the color. So by black body, we can use a real Kelvin temperature, just like when we are having a real world lighting. So for this one, I think I'm going to use 1000, maybe 2600. Yeah, this looks good. And then change the power just a little bit. And the radius just a little bit as well. Not too crazy. I think we need to hide these annotations first. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so faucet done, the candles done. Next is the boundary. For boundary, I think there will be nothing really crazy about it. So I think we need to add a ground, change the vertex for the snapping options, and then snap on this corner here, and then Shift A, add plane, just like usual, and then move it, and then go to the edge mode, press G. Make sure we turn off this proportional editing first, and then press G to move the edge, and then snap it on the corner. Snap it on the corner again. Maybe this one, increase it a little bit. Yeah, something like this. And now we're going to create a wall, maybe on the same height as this wall. So we're going to add a cube. 0. Oh, I'm sorry. Add a cube, and then the size will be 0.15, and then make it snap here on the corner. Change to face select, and there's our wall. Let's turn this on. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It looks quite realistic, and I'm happy about it. So next is the window frame. The window frame. What if we change it to black for now? I think it looks good. Yeah, I think it looks good. Yeah, black looks good, I think. I noticed something. Let me turn this off and press and go for render image for our render test. as we can see, we have a very sharp, very sharp edge there. See, and it happened because our modifier, which is the subdivision surface, we only change the level viewport. We only increase it to 4, but it's only on the viewport. So we need to change the render as well. So I'm going to change it to 4. Let me stop this first. Change this to 4. So maybe the same for this. Oh, this one is also already have the same number, so no problem with that. So yeah, let's start it again. Yeah, now we get rid of that sharp edge, that weird sharp edge. Okay, so now we're good. But this frame is still bothering me. Now it looks too contrast. Alright, so I think I'm going to change the this frame into something that match with the overall color. Something off-white, or maybe just something a bit light gray, almost white color. So yeah, I don't want something really crazy going on in the frame. So yeah, just kind of match with overall color. Maybe make it more warm. Yeah, this looks good to me. So yeah, we fix all of this notes before. So now we can change the sky. We're going to use an HDRi. So we head to this world settings here, and then look for the color, which we already used sky texture, and now we're going to change it into environment texture. Now our scene is become purple because there's no image, there's no HDRi loaded yet. So we need to load it first by click this open, and then locate your HDRi file. And I got this HDRIs from polyheaven.com. So let's try. And also I'm just using a 2K resolutions. You don't really need to use a 4K or higher, because yeah, 1K just do fine, to be honest, but I prefer to use 2K. And here we cannot rotate the orientations of our HDRI, so we need to change this shader editor from object to world. Change this to world, and now we got this. This is our HDRI file. As you can see, the extension said HDR, and then now we're going to press Ctrl T. Now we can rotate by adjusting this Z axis rotations. Okay. And if you are not happy with the results, you can always change the file here, which I'm going to do because I just want to look for other HDRI. Yeah, I think this looks good, but we need to maybe increase the strength a little bit. Maybe change this to 2 for now. Okay. Yeah, this angle looks good, but I think I'm going to turn off this annotations first. Okay. Also enable this screencast as well. Okay, so we can proceed to next step now, which is setting the camera. This scene is having a very narrow room. It's long but not so wide, so it's best if we change our image orientations from this landscape to portrait, because yeah, you know, we can focus more and create a better compositions. Okay, so to do that, click our camera, which is this border here. We need to click it, and now we click this camera settings here, and then we can turn on the composition guides and use the thirds. This is the rule of thirds. If you are familiar with photography, I'm sure we use this all the time, right, to setting up a compositions. And then we go to these output properties here, and then change this number here. I'm going for 2K resolutions, so I'm going to change this into 1440, and then this one 2560, and we already have our portrait orientations. Let me squeeze this out. Okay, now we have to fill this blank area. It's too much, so what we can do is we can increase the focal length, or maybe even move our camera a little bit. Okay. Let's try to render this. Let's adjust the HDRi a little bit. Okay. Now, after we finish setting up the camera, we can proceed to the next steps, which is setting up our render settings. So this one is for the viewport, as we can see. So we need to adjust on this one for our final render. Now, I'm using 1496, which is the default number, and it's high enough in my opinion. And then lower the noise threshold to lowest as possible. I mean lowest as you can handle. If you are not in rush, you can set it to lowest possible, which is 0.001. You can go lower than this, but it will take a long time to render. But if you have time, or you are willing to wait, then maybe you can try it. But for me, I think I'm going to use this as 0.001. We don't need to check the persistent data because we're not render on animations. And then, yeah, you can optimize this, but I think for now I'm just leave it as default. So yeah, basically that's it. Turn off the tiling if you are using GPU render. This one, if by default you are using CPU, and then but you want to use a GPU, then you can change it here. And also you can change the whether using a CUDA or optics if you are using NVIDIA. So I'm using optics because I found that using optics is much faster than CUDA. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to render this image first, a final render, and then we can proceed to compositing. So I'm going to render this one and come back later when it's already finished. And also, I enabled the denoise on the viewport rendering, but turn it off on the final render because I feel denoiser is kind of too smooth, and I want some imperfections on my render, so I turn it off. So yeah, if you really want a clean, super clean image, then you can turn it on. But if you want to have some kind of imperfections like a noise in a real photo, maybe you can turn this off because we already set the samples and noise threshold quite low, and samples is quite high, so it should really minimize the noise that is going to be produced. Okay, now we are all set, and now we are ready to render our image, but it will not be our final render because we need to adjust it on the compositing and then re-render it, and that will be our final render. So for now, let's just render it. I'm going to speed this up and I will back later. Okay, the render is already finished. So next we can setting up our compositing by going to this window here, the compositing window, and then turn on use nodes options here. And now I'm going to add a window here by dragging this and then change it to image editor. Also, I'm going to add nodes here on the compositing window. I'm going to type a viewer and then connect it here. Now we can change this to viewer. There we have it. So this node here is for this viewer node, which you can just save it directly. But for this composite node, it needs to be rendered, and the output will be the render result. So if you connect to this, make sure you re-render it. But if you just connect it to this viewer node, you can just save it directly within the viewer node. But I think I'm going to connect both of this because I think I'm going to re-render it because this candle is too bright for me. So I need to dim it a little, which need to be re-render it later. Alright, so for the compositing, we're going to adjust just a little bit, not much. Basically, I think for the exposure settings, and also we're going to add a glare effect. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to add color correction here. I'm going to increase the master just a little bit on the gain. Maybe increase the midtone just a little bit as well. I reduce the highlights maybe just a little bit. Okay. Next up, maybe we need to enhance a little bit on the sky color. Nothing too crazy, but just adjust a little bit of it. And we're going to add a hue correct. So this means the hue, the saturations, and the value. So for the hue, we go around this one, I believe. Okay, this one is affecting our sky, and I want it to be like this. More blue, which before is kind of like cyan, what do you call it? Yeah, you know what I mean. But I want it to be more blue now, which I'm going to drag it above just a little bit. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Maybe increase the saturations if we can. Maybe increase the value a little bit to make it lighter as well. Alright, I think this looks good. Let me try to desaturate it and see what happened. Okay, this is too pale. Maybe just increase it a little bit, just a bit. There we go. Looks good. Next, we're going to add the glare, which is on the filter, and then look for glare. Okay, this is a Strix, so we need to change it to fog glow, and then change it to a high quality. And this is a bit too much to me. I also increase the size. This is a bit too much for me, so maybe I need to increase the threshold. Okay, I think 2.3 works for me. So feel free for you to adjust it as you need. Okay, so far I'm happy with the result. So we just need to adjust our candle here. I kind of see like there's a circle here, probably because we are adjusting the midtones and shadows, but I think it should be fine. It's not too distracting for now. Okay, nothing too distracting. We can just leave it as it is. And then we're going back to the layout now, and then adjusting our candle here. Our point light, to be precise. Maybe I need to turn off this overlays first, and then go to the light settings here, and then change the power. Okay, change the power. I don't want it to be very distracting. I want it to be just like have a realistic effect, but nothing too distracting. Okay, maybe increase it just a little bit. So basically that's it. Oh, I forgot to connect the nodes. So make sure you connect the node if you are going to re-render it. Make sure to connect this composite as well. So I'm just going to cut it and then connect this. By the way, I'm pressing shift. Hold on, let me undo it. Okay, my screencast is off, so let me turn it on. cannot show you guys the screencast here, but basically what I'm doing is press to cut this line, the connections between the node. I'm pressing Control and then right click on the mouse, and there will be my cursor will appear as something like a knife, and then just cut it here and it will disconnect. Next, I'm pressing Shift on my keyboard and then right click on the mouse on this connections line, and there will be appear a vertex which we can later connect it to another nodes. Okay, so basically this already connected. So right now we can just render our final image. You'll go to the render, or you can press F12 and we will wait for our result. And just for your information, when it's rendering, the compositing node that we set before is not yet applied when it's still rendering. So the compositing settings that we set before will be applied when the render is already finished. Okay, I will fast forward this and I'll catch up with you later. This is our final result, which I'm happy about it. I hope this video helpful, especially for you guys who just starting out using Blender. Let me know in the comments if you successfully create the scene, and also don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.